everyone, today I will be doing a 3-year update and review of my Birkenstock Boston clogs with the shearling lining, and I will also be doing an unboxing of a brand new pair of Birkenstocks. Yay! These Boston clogs seem to still be quite popular today. So I purchased 2 pairs back in 2022. This first pair I wore every single day for 8 to 10 hours. I wore them throughout my postpartum phase with my firstborn and also through my second pregnancy and that postpartum phase as well. So this pair has been through a lot with my dramatic weight increases from my pregnancies to carrying around 10 to 25 pound babies around the house. So the second pair I purchased to wear outside, but I ended up not really using this pair a lot due to the sizing feeling a little bit off. So you can see there is a stark difference in the 2 pairs, the one that I use very heavily and the one that I really just mildly used. Originally, I purchased my Birkenstock Bostons because carrying around a 25-pound baby around the house was killing my back and my feet. My non-Birkenstock house slippers were not providing enough arch support, and even wearing those slippers would hurt my feet. I also have a connective tissue disorder called hypermobility, which causes unstable joints all throughout my body and widespread chronic pain. I noticed after each pregnancy that the pain in my feet increased significantly, and it was probably worsened by my hypermobility condition. So now I want to share with you the wear and tear of these Birkenstocks. And just as a side note, I want to mention that I did spray both of the Birkenstock Bostons with a waterproofing spray before starting to use them. For the last 3 years, this Birkenstock Boston pair has been such a trooper and have been through so much with me. From spills such as water, milk, breast milk, toothpaste, spaghetti, and I even remember that my toddlers actually threw up on them during a really bad stomach flu in the house. So they've been through a lot. Looking at the heavily used pair's upper suede lining, you can see that there is a significant amount of scuffing, and you can also tell that the waterproofing did wear off over time. There's a good amount of scuffing on the front, on the sides. This more heavily used pair that I wore 8 to 10 hours a day is darker than this one that I didn't really wear that much. The hardware has a little bit of scratching, but it's not too noticeable. On the outsole, the rubber is scuffed, and there was a Birkenstock logo that was etched along here, but all of that has been scuffed off. If you compare the heavily worn Birkenstock pair with the not so heavily worn one here, the rubber has worn down on the heavily used one. There are a lot less grooves on the bottom of this outsole compared to the mildly used pair. So a lot of support has been lost with the heavily used pair. Looking at both shoes of the heavily used pair, the cork bed lining also has some cracks here and cracks on the other side too. Moving on to the inside wear and tear of the Bostons, I'm going to be real with you. The inside is really worn down and dirty and frankly just nasty. The shearling lining has worn off. This was all covered in shearling, but the insoles are visible because it's been worn off. On the other side of this heavily used pair, there's been a lot of heel rubbing on this side on my right foot, and so the shearling is just completely worn down. The label on the inside also has significant discoloration. Just a cool little thing that I learned from one of my watchers regarding the sizing and the label on the shoe is if you see the foot here on the label and it's colored in, that means it is the narrow medium size. And if it's not colored in and the foot is just an outline of a foot, it's going to be the regular wide size. One last significant wear and tear of the inside of the Birkenstock Bostons is that the insole is lifting off the cork bed, and it's happening on both sides here, but more so on this side. Some pros of these Birkenstock Boston clogs are that after 3 years of heavy use, they still provide decent comfort and also help me with my feet pain a lot. And I also really appreciate the cozy look of the shoe and that it goes with every outfit. Even though the shearling lining has worn down, it's still warm enough that I don't need to wear socks during the winter. A few cons of these Birkenstock Bostons are that regarding the shearling lining, it has worn down, and now that the shearling has flattened a lot, the shoe does fit a lot looser on my feet, and the overall arch support really isn't there anymore. And the last con is that something that really bothered me is that the cork bed lining cracked on both sides of this pair of shoes. And I've owned a good number of Birkenstocks throughout the years and have worn them down, and I've never noticed the cork bed lining cracking, so that's just something to note. Some final thoughts on these Birkenstock Bostons are that they're still very comfy and cozy. Even though the shearling lining has worn down, it is still there, and with that compounded with the cushion of the Birkenstock cork bed, it feels like you're walking on a nice plush rug, which is nice because in our home we don't have any rugs or carpet, so there's hardwood floor everywhere, so it is nice to have the feeling of something plush underneath my feet. Now I want to get into the unboxing of the new Birkenstocks that I purchased. And honestly, it is no surprise here. They are the Birkenstock Bostons with the shearling lining in the antique white color. My first impression of this new Boston pair is that it is so beautiful. I love this white toned suede upper with this gold hardware. This color is so neutral, so it will go with any outfit and season. I have to admit that buying this light tone color in our household was a really risky decision because we have 2 young toddlers in the house. However, I'm hoping that waterproofing them will help with any stains. Just providing a quick comparison between the brand new pair of Bostons and the heavily used pair is that even though this heavily used pair has been through a lot and is worn down significantly, it is pretty comfortable and cozy and does still provide enough comfort that I don't experience any pain with them. However, when I do wear these brand new Birkenstock Boston clogs, there is a significant increase in arch support, and also the plush shearling lining is like hugging my feet, so it feels really comfortable on. I want to quickly show you how I protect the suede lining of the Bostons. The waterproofing spray that I use is this brand, and I will link it down below. Before I spray the clogs, I shove paper inside to protect the shearling, and then evenly coat the outside and allow them to dry. I repeat this twice for extra protection. If you've had your Boston clogs for years or you've gotten brand new ones, let me know what you think of your clogs. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!